Hey everybody. Thank you so much for getting on tonight. I apologize that I'm a few minutes later than I wanted to be. I actually just finished teaching a 101 oils class, so it took me a little bit longer than I planned, but I'm here, I'm ready, I've got bells on my toes, and I'm ready to jump into a brand new class that we're just launching this evening. It is the hormones class. So if you haven't had a chance to do any teaching out of this book, it is a game changer for OGV. It's called the Game Plan Oil Script Book. And after tonight, we actually only have 9 classes left, and we are done with this entire boot camp. And it's time to shift gears a little bit. But I pray that you're really enjoying the content from this book and that you're learning tons of new things. So this is what we've already covered. We've already done oils, thieves, Ningxia, CBD, the kids class, Fearless, which is how to play with your oils, oils of the Bible, the raindrop class. We have an entire PowerPoint just on raindrop, the feelings class, gut health, supplements, enzymes, Bloom Art Savvy, so the skin class, the hair class, and the tooth class. So entire classes just on those topics. You have so much content and so much product education that it should just be a huge blessing for you and your teams. And not only that, but free PowerPoints too. We have the first 14 PowerPoints up on my website, and they don't cost you anything, guys. It's free resources for you to just go download them and go and use them. So tonight we are doing the hormones class, and on Thursday we're going to work through the workbook and the mini. And then next week we've got animal aromatherapy, then massage for couples, then an entire intro to diffusers class. So which diffusers to use, when, why, how. Then seedlings, then the manly man class. Then we're going to do an entire class just on technique. So I'm going to hand teach you neuroauricular technique and the ear technique and valor balancing technique. So what do you do when you keep dropping your keys and hitting your shin bone and bumping your head? How to make your own blends is my personal favorite from this book. Then the einkorn class, so einkorn recipes that'll blow your doors off. And then we're going to end with a tribute to the founder of Young Living, D. Gary Young. And then for 7 weeks, we're going to do little protocols. So I'm going to give you these little 7-day protocols. You can do them 7 days, 15 days, 30 days. We're going to have little challenge calendars for your team. And I'm going to do a cleanse with you guys, and a weight loss protocol with you guys, an emotional release protocol with you guys, an energy protocol with you guys, Gary's Great Day protocol, a grief protocol, and an internal oils protocol. And then we'll have a colds and flus class. I'll do an entire top-down teacher training with you, and we'll end with keeping God as your center in a crazy world. And that is the script book. We should be wrapping up sometime in October, November with this entire boot camp. So I just hope it's just been amazing experience for you guys to study this, but only 10 classes left. And after tonight, we'll have just 9 classes and then the protocols. So, and Judy says, I'll be your demo model. And Judy Menzie says, hi. Leanne Chamberlain says, hey, from North Florida. Jay Bird says, yes, yes, yes. Nina's tagging her team. So is Lisa. God bless you guys. Let me do a quick giveaway for you. 155 of you guys wanted a chance to earn the Game Plan Script Book on a post that I put up earlier today. So let me go check and see. Arlene Celis, C-E-L-I-S. I'm going to send you an Euler edition of the script book. Carolyn Jones, you're winner number 2. She says, I've had hot flashes for 22 years. So you're going to get an Euler edition. And Cindy Rice Carwil, C-A-R-W-I-L-E, you are getting an Euler edition as well. So the 3 of you guys, go ahead and email me at oilabilitywithsarah@gmail.com, and we'll make sure that we get those sent out to you. I think we're working on May's giveaways right now, so have some patience with me. We're trying to get them out as fast as we can, but I give away about $6,000 of books every single month. So it takes my mailings team a lot of time to get all of that stuff in the mail to you and out, and make sure that you guys are fully loved on. So let's jump into our hormones class. This is our launch night. So when I'm getting ready for a class, I just finished teaching a 101 class. So I'm going to put this back in my teacher's edition. What I do to prepare for the class, let me show it to you. Game Plan Oil Script Book. Lisa, I'm live. I don't write the names down. So if you need it, you'll just have to go back and listen to the video. All right. Sherry Stevens says, hormones help, please. So I'm going to grab my teacher's edition, which by the way is on sale on my website right now. We've got 24 hours left on the sale. So oilabilityteam.com, go click on shop, go load up. We have never put the script book on sale before. It's on sale tonight. So go get some script book stuff before I pull it off the website. So all 25 classes are right inside. And I'm just going to turn to my hormones class. So I've got, let's see, hair. And here it is. This is the 116 class, which is hormones. It's hormones and oils. So when I'm getting ready to teach a class, I just open up my teacher's edition and I grab my script just for that one class. And I'll take a peek and just see about how long it takes to teach it so that I know how much time I need to be investing. So right at the very top, it's going to tell you this class takes 60 minutes to teach. So we're starting it at 9 p.m. Eastern. We should be done with it by 10 p.m. Eastern. And then you're going to go in and you're going to download your PowerPoint. So we'll be putting this PowerPoint up in the next day or two for you guys. Let me go do a screen share so you can see my screen. If I go to, let's see, share screen, and bam, you guys can see my screen. Now I'm going to bring up the brand new hormones and oils PowerPoint. So here it is for you guys. I'm super excited about. Nobody's seen this PowerPoint yet because we just finished it today. All of these are professionally designed. So you know that we've had a whole team working on it behind the scenes. These oils that you see in here, those are the oils that are actually in the blends for hormones. So they'll just be a huge blessing to you. And as we always do when we're starting classes, we're going to begin with a story about Gary Young. And these stories are printed right in the inside flap of the cover of that class. So this particular story comes from Diamond Donna Grace, who's a really sweet friend of mine. She says, I inadvertently traveled to Utah the day the groundbreaking happened for the new global headquarters. Gary used a backhoe to dig the ceremonial groundbreaking. Afterward, when most people were gone, he asked who wanted to use the backhoe and dig more dirt. He grabbed me and got up on the backhoe. Like a gentle teacher and father, he taught me how to use it. And even with my wild bucket swing, he didn't raise his voice through it all. When I got down, he stood with his arm around me and he talked to me about a variety of things. And his father-like gentleness with me will always be in my memory of that day. So my goal with this project, with the Game Plan Oil script book, was to keep the memory of Gary Young alive so that you guys knew who he was and how amazing of a man that he was. And so I pray that with these little Gary stories, Gary Young, the founder of Young Living, that you get to hear it from the people that actually knew Gary and traveled with Gary and spent time with Gary, not from the garbage you read on the internet, but from people that actually got to spend time with him. And I have been blessed to be one of those people, and Donna Grace, also beautiful Diamond, one of those people. So here we go. Let's jump right into the class. I'm super excited about it. So if you are doing it, you're going to notice that there are some videos in the class. It's because I insert some things off of Young Living's YouTube channel just to kick this up a notch, really make you look good when you're teaching classes. What I recommend you do, there's usually 3, sometimes 4 videos in an entire PowerPoint. What I recommend you do is go find those videos, which we have one in a couple of slides, and I just draw a little star on the paragraph where that video is, so I can tell them, hey, you know, this is a little video. And the rest of these are basically just the headers. So you'll notice there's bold fonts at the beginning of the paragraphs. Those are the headers, and that's where each of these new slides are. So it's not really a heavy lift to understand how to use the PowerPoint, but it does follow the script book very, very closely. Okay. Not perfectly because the video's in there, but very closely. So if I want to share my entire screen, I'm just going to go up to slideshow. And from current slide, or if you're at the beginning, you can start from the beginning slide. So let's crank it up a notch. We're going to jump right into our hormones class. It is 9:05. So you're about to delve into what I consider the most difficult topic in oiling. If you're still on the hunt for your wow moment, which is that moment where oils prove their worth to you, studying hormones can be a really tough way to find it, but it's not impossible. Hormones are impacted by tens of thousands of things daily. So stress, medications, nutrient deficient diets, poor food choices, inadequate sleep, genetics, less active lifestyles, synthetic hormones, toxins, and chemicals in our personal care products, and ingredients that we never even think to look for, like soy. So each gland is bombarded daily. You're trying to navigate that bombardment to find answers and regulate your endocrine system, and it's quite the task. We're going to start off by understanding how your glands work, and then crossing off a few things off that list obvious that could be throwing them off kilter. And then we're going to train on supplements and oils that may give your endocrine system the tools to do what God created it to do. So we're going to start with a quote from one of my favorite Young Living books on hormones. It's called Taming the Dragon Within by Dr. Leanne Deardiff and by David Deardiff, that's her husband. So she says, how are women like dragons? It's easy. So much is obvious. We are living furnaces. We are moody. We blow up at the littlest things of the day, and we can be calmed and controlled the next minute. We're full of love and service and tremendously loyal to those that we love. And then some days of the month, we're starving hungry. And some days we have headaches and cramps. And some days we take in so much water that we puff up with edema and water weight. And sometimes we seem to explode around the middle, and sometimes we're exhausted and we need to sleep a lot. So how do we tame the inner dragon? We balance our hormones that our fiery dragon is put to sleep, and the other side, the kind side, can emerge and take over. So Young Living has created an entire line of supplements for both men and women to balance that crazy endocrine system. And we're going to take a look at both. We're going to take a look at the supplements, we're going to take a look at the oils, and we're going to take a look at the line for men and women. So I'm just going to go ahead and say it out loud. There are both men's and women's hormone products with Young Living because men can have dragon days too. So there you go, right? It's not just us. But we're going to start off with a little bit about Young Living. Every single product made by Young Living, whether it's an oil or an oil-infused product, is held to our Seed to Seal standards. So pesticides, herbicides, heavy metals, many other toxins and chemicals that you would find in other personal care products that can set your endocrine system into a frenzy. We don't put that stuff in our products. So we'll get more to hormone disruptors later. But Young Living doesn't make products with those crazy ingredients. You can cross that off your list when you're trying to figure out the puzzle of your endocrine system. Young Living operates by an entire philosophy called Seed to Seal. In fact, it impacts every single thing that we do. So what is Seed to Seal? This is what it means. Nothing has been planted on soil that's had contact with any chemicals within the last 50 years. So the organic standard is 5 to 7 years, Young Living standard, 50 years. Young Living picks the best seeds from strong, thriving plants. Young Living hand weeds and uses its own oils on plants for pest control to avoid harmful chemicals. Young Living harvests the plants at their peak so that you can get the highest quality oil. Young Living distills on site without chemicals. Young Living tests every single batch multiple times with state-of-the-art equipment. So now that you know the standard for how products are made, we're going to jump right in and look at different standard supplements for both men and women. And we're going to take a look at what Young Living founder D. Gary Young had to say about hormones. I had to go back 20 years to look at what he had to say about hormones. And then we're going to wrap up with the hormones protocol for you to try. So that's the layout of the class. But first, let's talk a little bit about why Young Living products work so well. It's because they go all the way to the cells of the human body and they interact with the cells. So watch this.
Meet Tony. He's a healthy guy, loves to exercise and eat well, and even though he takes care of himself, he still gets sick here and there. But Tony's natural state is healthy. To help him establish optimum health, or a state we call vigor and vitality, he has trillions of cells as allies. These cells work tirelessly every day to keep his body and mind in good shape. Because Tony has healthy cells, he also has healthy tissues, organs, and organ systems that thrive. The state of his cells determine the state of his body. There are several factors that will influence the health of Tony's cells. But Tony hasn't always lived a healthy lifestyle. Last year, he was stressed out with his new job, and instead of exercising, he just watched TV. He picked up some poor eating and beverage habits, and he lived downtown where pollution was very high. All of these things prevented Tony's cells from performing their best. And if Tony's cells don't feel good, Tony doesn't feel good. He decided to get his life in order, starting with his cells. Tony discovered great health products from Young Living. They provide wellness products that go straight to the source, the cell. Their essential oils and oil-infused products are able to penetrate the cell membrane to get inside and take corrective action. Tony began by drinking Ninja Red that flooded his body with nourishing restorative nutrients. He no longer buys energy drinks and soda. Instead, he drinks Ninja Nitro, which supports his mental clarity and provides sustainable energy levels. He also started diffusing essential oils at his office that positively affected his attitude, his mental and emotional state, as well as his physical energy. Lastly, Tony minimized his exposure to toxins by using natural personal care items like Thieves Foaming Hand Soap, Morningstar Bath and Shower Gel, and AromaGuard Mountain Mint Deodorant. His cells started to feel great, and so did Tony. He is back on his feet and happier than ever thanks to Young Living essential oils. Now all of his friends want to know his secret to vigor and vitality. So he shares how he started to live the Young Living lifestyle. By sharing, he has built a thriving team of like-minded individuals, earns some extra income, and enjoys free Young Living products. Tony truly lives an abundant life. To learn how you can achieve wellness, purpose, and abundance, visit youngliving.com.
Bam, there you go. So I'm going to get out of this and we'll just go into our next thing, which is what are hormones? We got to start at the very beginning, right? I'm going to share this slide so you guys can see it. So what are hormones? Well, hormones are messengers in your body that regulate metabolism, growth, development, so puberty, tissue function, sexual function, reproduction, sleep, and mood. With all of these responsibilities, they also contribute to a plethora of issues if any detail is out of whack. So they can cause migraines, insomnia, weak bones, weight gain, hot flashes, mood swings, infertility, our ability to handle stress and low libido. Over time, out of balance hormones can lead to rapid aging and increased risk of disease. So hormones are affecting every single cell in the body. They tell us when to wake up and when to go to sleep. They tell us when to eat and when to stop eating. They dictate how we'll respond to stress and joy and fear. They tell us when to replace cells or just to let the cells fade away. Knowing how hormones work and what you can do to keep them at a healthy level is an enormous task in and of itself. So glands of the endocrine system, your endocrine system, which is your chemical messenger system, consists of all the glands in your body that make hormones: thyroid, parathyroid, adrenals, pancreas, ovaries, and for men, the testes. These hormones regulate how other organs in the body operate. The messengers are made by the glands, and then they're secreted directly into the circulatory system, so balance is maintained. That's how you get affected everywhere by your hormones, because it's in your blood, it's everywhere. The body is constantly trying to keep this system in balance, but it's a really big task. And the liver is not technically part of that system, but it plays a large part because it's got to keep removing excess hormones from the bloodstream. It's impacted by the hypothalamus, so the neural control center, upstream, which sends hormones to the liver. The hypothalamus and the pituitary gland team. So the hypothalamus is an area really deep inside the brain that receives chemical signals through the blood and electrical signals from the nervous system that keep it in the know on the body's needs. It's essentially the regulator of the entire endocrine system. It keeps track of blood concentrations of hormones and emotional thoughts. The hypothalamus gives orders to the pituitary gland, which in turn releases hormones that signal the other glands downstream. So it tells the kidneys to control water retention. If you're having swelling when you're drinking water, that's your hormones that are off. It tells the adrenal glands to produce hormones for energy. If you need a nap every single afternoon, that's your adrenal glands. It's your hormones that are off. It even determines when you need sleep. So if you're waking up in the middle of the night, hormones, it's a hormone issue, unless you drank too much before you went to bed. So if this gland doesn't function, none of the others will function either. Pituitary gland damage can lead to things like high blood pressure, lactation problems, water and temperature regulation, poor memory, adrenal insufficiency, weight problems, and more. The best supplement that Young Living has to love on the pituitary gland is Omega Guys. It also helps to put a drop of lavender vitality and frankincense vitality on the roof of the mouth 4 to 5 times a day. So if you're having major problems with any of those glands, frankincense and lavender on your thumb, vitality, suck on it a couple of times a day. So let's talk about the thyroid gland. The thyroid works under the direction of the pituitary gland, and it creates hormones that boost the metabolism of every cell. It can trigger how hungry you are. When it's underperforming, you're going to have extreme fatigue. If it's overactive, you might have things like weight gain or coarse, dry hair or cold intolerance or muscle cramps or memory loss. Endoflex essential oil is wonderful on the throat right here. You'll feel your Adam's apple. You want to go just under that. Is where all your thyroid stuff is. So, and your thyroid gland. And when it's underperforming, you're going to have extreme fatigue. If it's overactive, you might have things like weight gain, coarse, dry hair, muscle cramps. Endoflex is good for supporting that gland. We also have a supplement called Thyromin that supports the thyroid. So it's best to take Thyromin between 9 and 11 p.m. so that the body is using it at the right time. Adrenal glands. If you go to bed early, 9 p.m. If you go to bed late, take it at 11 p.m. The adrenal glands are the most famous glands in the endocrine system because we connect them to our energy levels. They are the nitro for the human body. So let's spend an extra moment of time on them because I want to give you a quick reflexology tip that you can use on your own feet to relieve stress and to give yourself a good energy boost. The adrenal glands make many hormones which give the body energy, and they help to control functions like blood pressure and sweating. They produce cortisol, which is the stress hormone. If your body has too little cortisol, even minor stress can feel very overwhelming. They produce sex hormones. Also, I'm sure that you've suspected adrenaline is produced by the adrenal glands. So the main purpose of adrenaline is to get the liver to turn protein into glucose really fast so that the brain has more energy. The adrenals love B vitamins. Young Living makes a vitamin called Super B that's really supporting toward the adrenal glands, as are the essential oils clove and nutmeg. So you're going to apply the oils on your adrenal reflexology points. So I'm going to show you a picture of this. I actually forgot to put it in the PowerPoint. So I'm going to go into my files and open it up and show it to you guys. And then when we upload the PowerPoint, I'll make sure this graphic's in there for you. So you're going to mentally draw a line straight underneath the ball of your big toe. That line is called the tendon line. Your tendon will pop out when you point your toe toward your chin. So you point your toe up, you're going to see the tendon stick out. That reflex is slightly off from the tendon toward the medial side, so the outside of your foot, not toward the center. The adrenals are located halfway between the ball of your big toe and the highest point in your arch. So in the picture, I'm going to show you the first X is the solar plexus, and the second X is the adrenals. So let me go into my Game Plan Oil script book folder here. And I'm going to go to, let's see. I should have a folder in here. Here it is. These are your adrenals. So you can see when you pull that toe back, you're going to see that tendon right here, right, that I just showed you guys. There's that tendon that sticks out, and the adrenals are toward the outside of the foot. So that their little X is right about where the adrenals are. That's the point that you want to work on. Okay. That is your reflexology point. So if you're going to put nutmeg anywhere, that's a really good place to put nutmeg. I'm going to teach you another little trick with that specific point. So you're going to apply 3 drops of clove, and this class, just this tip right here is worth the whole class. I promise you, it's really cool. You're going to start carrying clove and nutmeg around in your pocket for whenever you're tired. So just applying clove and nutmeg oil on both feet on those adrenal reflexology points, you're going to see a big difference in your energy levels. So you've also got 2 adrenal glands on your back, and they're on the top of your kidneys. So you have one on each foot as well. So top of your kidneys and on your feet. The feet mimic the layout of the body. So apply gentle, deep thumb pressure on this point for 1 to 2 minutes. So after a few moments, you're going to notice your breathing is deepening, your overall tension will loosen, and you will feel much more relaxed and you feel like you could tackle more. So your little adrenal protocol for you guys to do when you hit that like point in the afternoon where you're ready to drop, or maybe mid-morning and you go reach for more coffee, I want you to take clove and nutmeg, put it on this point, and for 1 to 2 minutes, just take your thumb and apply pressure. You're not going to just hold it the whole time. You're just going to kind of pulse it and apply pressure, like 10 seconds on, 10 seconds off, 10 seconds on, 10 seconds off, or 5 seconds on, 5 seconds off if your thumb is getting tired. You're going to notice after about a minute of that, you're going to feel more relaxed, and it's really going to help you tackle the rest of your day. So just in case you were wondering, you can apply oils to the solar plexus, which is right here, reflexology point as well. It's just where your nerve endings come out, guys. It's not any weird like hoodoo stuff. It's the way God created the body to work. So this point likes the oils eucalyptus globulus and juniper. So if you really want to up this, when you balance the adrenals, it's good to balance the solar plexus right after that because it brings the whole endocrine system into balance. So do the adrenals first, then your solar plexus. And so if you put eucalyptus globulus and juniper, it's going to wake it up, or vetiver and helichrysum will calm it down. So if you're wound up, you're going to use vetiver helichrysum. If you're exhausted and you have no energy, you're going to use eucalyptus globulus and juniper. So those 2 oils. If you're on overload, then my favorite oils to use on the solar plexus are grapefruit and lemon. They're really balancing for the solar plexus. So pick any of those 3 sets of oils. I'll tell you again, eucalyptus globulus and juniper is to wake you up. Vetiver helichrysum is to calm you down. Grapefruit and lemon is if you're overwhelmed. So pick one of those 3 emotions, put that on the solar plexus after you do nutmeg and clove on the adrenals. So you're going to kind of just sort of tap your adrenal glands with those oils. Then you're going to apply some, whichever the 6 oils that you need on the solar plexus. So if you hold your foot, you're going to make a line, and that solar plexus is that tight network of nerves right at the bottom of your rib cage. So those nerves run down to your feet. Now, when you're tight there, most often the diaphragm's really tight also. This area of the body represents our power center. So it stands for the way we see ourselves and the way we feel about ourselves. So maybe it's not just about being tired or needing energy or being wound up at night, not being able to calm down, not needing to rest when you need to rest and waking up in the middle of the night, but maybe it's also about self-image. So you can actually balance the adrenals and solar plexus, and that will help with your body image also. So for quick relief, you can use the reflexology protocol that I just gave you. For more prolonged adrenal assistance, I would feed the adrenal glands daily with Super B, Omega Guys, and Mineral Essence. Those three are really good for the adrenal glands. And then you're going to apply clove, nutmeg, endoflex, and energy oils to the adrenal points on the feet, which are right here. Remember, just put your toe pointed up to your chin, and you'll see that tendon right here pop out of your foot. It's just to the left of that tendon, right? Under the ball of your foot. Your ball's right here. It's underneath that, about 2 finger lengths. All right. So, I don't usually advise putting them over the glands themselves on the back because it's a sensitive area for the skin. The feet are a lot tougher. So work on your adrenal glands right on the feet. All right, I'm going to close this up for you. So estrogen and progesterone, let's talk about that now. I'll make sure that that gets into the PowerPoint for you guys so you can see that slide and you know exactly where to apply the oil. So estrogen and progesterone. Up until this point, we covered the major glands of the endocrine system. So let's shift gears and talk about two of the hormones that those glands release. So estrogen and progesterone. Progesterone takes control if the ovaries release eggs. It helps a fertilized egg attach to the uterus. It's the neurosteroid that's produced in the reproductive system and the neurological system, and it impacts the ability of nerves to carry signals. So if progesterone isn't present, then estrogen will take over and it will inhibit the chemical process. If it sits there like that long enough, it can cause the cells to mutate and cause really serious issues like cancer. So you really, really, really do not want this particular hormone to be off in your body. And that's why Gary Young focused so much on progesterone. Progesterone and estrogen have to work together. So estrogen feminizes the body. Both male and female bodies carry the hormone, but the females carry more of it. In addition to its role in sexual and reproductive health, it maintains skin, blood vessels, bones, and it aids in memory. Now, on the flip side, if there are imbalances with estrogen, it can lead to problems like increased fat storage, fluid retention, dry skin, severe premenstrual or menopausal symptoms, irregular menstruation, low sex drive, fatigue, mood changes, sleeping problems, or even the risk of cancer. Young Living makes a few products to help with the balance between those two hormones. So one is not stronger than it needs to be. And we're going to discuss these products in further detail in just a second. So here's a pro tip first, though. Hormone testing can be like finding a needle in a haystack. 15 hormones that are off 1 month might be normal the next month, and a whole new set of hormones might be totally different. And they might be off later on. So at the very least, you can get testing done to see what your estrogen and progesterone levels are, but I just recommend you grab the oil and just give it a shot and see. If you see relief, you know you found what was off balance, right? So hormone disruptors and xenoestrogens. We've discussed a number of elements that can throw hormones out of whack and lead to health issues. Xenoestrogens do just that. They are estrogen mimicking compounds, which is a type of hormone disruptor that's found in food additives, insecticides, weed killers, plastics, shampoos, cosmetics, detergents. It's in the lining of food and drinks that we can use. They're also fed to the very cows that we eat. So, I mean, it's literally in everything, guys. It's like in unless your home is totally Young Living, you are probably getting exposed to it all over the place. So while we're on the topic of hormone disruptors, there's a big elephant in the room that nobody seems to talk about, and that's feminine products that you use during your cycle. So make sure that you look for some of the products that are my favorite, that are chlorine free and have no synthetic pesticides, dyes, or fragrances. So some of my favorite brands to look into are Vita, NatraCare, and Organic. It's ORGANYC. Personally, I don't trust 7th Generation. It's made by Coca-Cola. I don't trust OB Organics, and I don't trust Honest. I encourage you to do some research before you purchase products with claims to be organic. Like, look at what their parent companies are. But those brands I do trust: Vita, VEEDA, NatraCare, NatraCare, and Organic. all of the pollutants and toxins that we're exposed to accumulate in tissues such as the breast. So one thing I would tell you is, all right, you've got all these oils you can start using. You've got all these supplements you can start using. You got a little reflexology technique that you learn in this class that you can start using. But I would say one thing that's super important is if you guys have not switched your personal care products, I'm talking tampons, pads, anything you're using during that time of the month, if you've not switched that and you're still using stuff with bleach in it and chemicals and hormone disruptors, girl, get away from that stuff. Like that is the first thing. Go find some of the stuff. It's like $1 or $2 more at the grocery store. Like do not use the stuff with all the bad ingredients in it. You do not want that stuff in your body, and definitely not in your little lady bits. All right. You need to get that stuff out of your house. So switch over to some of that stuff instead. So all the pollutants and toxins that we're exposed to accumulate in tissues like the breast, the thyroid, the ovaries, the uterus. Some of it can imitate natural hormones, activating hormone receptors that overstimulate your glands. And this can increase the risk of hormone-dependent cancers like breast and uterine cancer, among other serious issues and disorders. So how do you know if your hormones are off? I mean, the body is just going to give you clear signals. There's a wonderful book called Taming the Dragon that I showed you a picture of earlier by David and Leanne Deardiff. And here's an uncomprehensive list just cited from a section of this book called Are My Hormones Really Off? Signs that you have progesterone and estrogen dominance. So here's some things that tell you whether or not your hormones are actually off. Tender breasts, mood swings, water retention, weepiness. If you have trouble getting going in the morning, even after 9 hours of sleep, clinical headaches and migraines, low libido, irritability and being really quick to anger, anxiety, uterine fibroids, puffiness, bloating, bleeding changes, cold body temperature, cystic ovaries or polycystic ovaries, vaginitis and vaginal infections, dry vagina or very little mucus, uterine or endometrial cancer, fungal or candida infections, really heavy periods, heavy menses, breast cancer, sleep disturbances, sugar cravings, or just feeling really hangry. If you need caffeine to get going in the morning and then you need it again mid-morning or mid-afternoon, elevated triglyceride levels, infertility, variations in your menstrual cycle, leaky bladder, interstitial cystitis, or having cysts on your ovaries or cysts in your uterus, tingling of the hands and feet, tinnitus, possibly in your ears, fibromyalgia, digestion problems, or low blood sugar. So all of those things are signs that you've got problems with your hormones and you need to get them back in check. So you get two options. You can use drugs and have side effects, or you can use oils and have no side effects. I recommend you use the oils. So before we cover products that can help balance the hormones, it's equally important if you experience these symptoms to have regular colon cleanses. So consider colon hydrotherapy or coffee enemas or the cleansing trio that Young Living offers. It's particularly important that you're regularly supplementing the pituitary, thyroid, and adrenal glands. We talked about what each gland needs earlier, but I'm going to recap it again at the end of the class. So let's talk about balancing those hormones. This is my favorite product that Young Living makes. It's a quick fix. Like more than half of you guys will see relief just from this one product alone. It is amazing. This is like, thank you, Gary Young. We love you so much. So Progestins Plus. The queen of estrogen and progesterone supplements is Young Living's Progestins Plus. This is an endocrine support serum that is made with essential oils and wild yam extract. It has properties to support women's natural cycles. This is actually a serum, not an oil. It's micronized, so finely ground, bioidentical progesterone derived from wild yam in a base of vitamin E oil. And it contains copaiba, frankincense, bergamot, clove, and peppermint essential oils to assist the progestins in entering the cells easily. The serum tends to work well for teenagers who have cramps or headaches during their cycles. Simply apply a couple of drops to the carotid arteries, which are the large blood vessel in your neck, on the side of your neck, that runs out. It actually runs up both sides of the neck. So for adult women, use Progestins. Did you know that? You can rub it on your uterus too, and you can rub it on your ankle, underneath your right ankle bone on the inside of your ankle. But my favorite choice is carotid artery, both sides of the neck. All right. So for adult women, you can use this for mild headaches, moodiness, anger, cramps, hot flashes, food cravings. You can use this up to every 2 hours during the day. So if it's a really bad cycle, every 2 hours, just hit it again, hit it again. It's a big thing, as I see people just don't do it enough. If your symptoms get worse, or if you get nauseous, use more, because it indicates that your progesterone levels are very low. So as you age, your body's going to slow down with producing progesterone. USP grade progesterone is not the same as progestins, which are synthetic versions that are sold by pharma. Taking synthetic hormones is really bad for you, and it can lead to life-threatening side effects. So the Cleveland Clinic is one of the most respected clinics in the United States, and it has an entire warning page on hormone replacement therapy. So in their words, while HT, hormone therapy, helps many women get through menopause, the treatment is not risk-free. Known health risks include increased risk of endometrial cancer if you're on hormone supplements, and our oils and our supplements are not hormone replacement therapy. What it does is it assists the body to do what the body needs to do. It's not synthetically replacing those hormones, which can give you cancer. It's really bad. It gives you increased risk of blood clots or stroke, increased risk of gallbladder and gallstone problems, increased risk of dementia, increased risk of heart disease, increased risk of breast cancer if used beyond 3 to 5 years, monthly bleeding, irregular spotting, breast tenderness, fluid retention, headaches, including migraine headaches, skin discoloration, so brown or black spots, and increased breast density. So I don't know about you guys, but that does not sound to me like something that the body wants, this hormone replacement therapy. So what I do instead is I just naturally aid the body with God's plants and put it on more often. Do it every 2 hours if you need to. Progestins Plus is a natural way of supporting the endocrine system so it can do what it needs to do without replacing hormones that the body should be making on its own. If you need to play around and you're not seeing the results that you want from Progestins Plus, then there are other phytoestrogen supplements that you can try. So I recommend using Progestins Plus first because most women have a positive response. But if you have any reactions, consult David and Leanne Dearduff's book, which has a troubleshooting session for Progestins Plus. I'm actually going to give you an entire protocol on how to do this and what days of the month to do it on our worksheet day, which is in 2 days. So if you want an entire protocol, then pop on in 2 days at 8:30 Eastern, and we're going to go through the whole thing for you. So let me show you a little video on Progestins Plus, and this is what Young Living has to say about their own product. There you go. So that is Progestins Plus. I'm going to get out of that and we'll go down to the products that Gary has designed that will help you guys, with balancing your hormones. So Femigen, I'm just going to talk about 4 of them here. Femigen, so what I say is just pick one, do it for 30 days, see if you see a change. If you don't see a change, then switch to a different supplement instead. Try these 4. So Femigen is a natural phytoestrogen supplement that supports female health with the benefits of Dong Quai, black cohosh, amino acids, and essential oils. Black and blue cohosh are plants and they're natural sources of phytoestrogens. Femigen supports bone health for both men and women. So if you're breaking your toes and, when you're bumping your feet into things, like this is a good supplement. It aids the brain, mood, bones, heart, skin, and other tissues. Femigen contains the following essential oils. So clary sage for hormone regulation and reproductive function, sage, which is to maintain balance between estrogen and progesterone, testosterone, and to support both the nervous system and the adrenal cortex, ylang-ylang to support the adrenal glands, and fennel, which provides support for all glands. So it's recommended to take 2 capsules at breakfast and 2 capsules at lunch. Sclarescence is not a capsule, but it's actually an essential oil. This helps to manage stress and it's a natural romance enhancer. So take Sclarescence Vitality 1 to 3 drops in a capsule daily, or add 1 to 2 drops in a glass of water or a warm cup of tea. You can also apply it topically to your belly. Endoflex is an oil designed to support the entire endocrine system. So there's a vitality version that you can take as a dietary supplement with 1 to 3 drops in a veggie capsule. It contains 6 different oils that are great for your endocrine glands like geranium, spearmint, sage, myrtle, and nutmeg. I also love to rub this on my throat twice daily over my thyroid gland. And again, I just recommend 1 of these at a time and see which one's really working great for you. Then Pregnenolone Plus Cream is a natural pregnenolone cream that enhances low level of hormones that it helps to produce. It's going to help your body actually make these. Pregnenolone is it's essentially a steroid hormone that can transform into various hormones, but it's something your body makes. It's not an artificial steroid like DHEA, testosterone, estrogen, and more. So we usually associate hormones with stages in our lives like puberty, pregnancy, and menopause. But hormones actually impact us minute by minute, and they influence the health of our bodies, our minds, and our emotions every single day, no matter what stage we are in. So let's talk hormones and emotions. This one's super, super fun. I mentioned the hypothalamus earlier. It's one of the main parts of the limbic system, which is the center of the brain that responds to emotional stimuli and uses it to regulate the endocrine system. So when you sniff an oil, that's where the oil goes. It regulates just about all of the moment to moment, day to day metabolic functions of the body. Thanks to the interplay of endocrine signals from the hypothalamus, it often happens that an intense feeling will cause an emotion to be sent to that specific organ to interfere with its function and to get stored there. So where are places that emotions are stored? This is going to sound really weird, but if you start applying oils in these places because you notice these emotions, you might see a shift in some of these emotions because you're going right to where they are. So fear and worry is stored in the kidneys. Anger and rage is stored in the liver and the gallbladder. Inner crying is stored in the lungs or the kidneys. Sadness is stored in the pancreas. A lack of joy is stored in the heart. Unforgiveness is stored in the liver. Revenge is stored in the kidney and kidney stones, and stress is stored in the stomach. So if you want to work in some of these areas, then I'd recommend studying the feelings class in this book, which we already did. You can actually find the whole class right on my website. But now you can layer the training by also taking some hormone supporting supplements and by doing emotional release protocols. So the hypothalamus has this direct connection to the olfactory organs of the nose, our sense of smell. This is done through the cranial nerve, which is an extension of brain tissue. It's found nowhere else in the nervous system, and it means that the things that we smell pass directly into the brain without interruption. So for it to be recognized by the brain, it's got to be carried by a lipid and oil. Studies have shown that scents held below the nose show up instantly in the hypothalamus. And that's how oils work for emotions. And it's also how they work for hormones. So it's time for a drum roll. We've talked Progessence Plus. We've talked Femigen. So now I'm going to give you 2 more supplements for women, along with a few oils. And then we're going to move on to our almost last topic, which is hormones for men. So girly girl hormones. Here's the top 4 supplements for girls. Progessence Plus, which we already covered that. Femigen, which I already covered that. Thyromin. So Thyromin works on metabolism, energy, body temperature, and calorie burning. It's proactive in supporting the thyroid. It uses porcine glandular extracts to create hormones. So it contains 4 oils, including myrtle for healthy skin and nails, peppermint, which is for healthy muscles, bones, and skin, myrrh, which is really powerful antioxidant, and spearmint for full system support. So if you feel that you need support in certain areas, this might be a really good supplement for you. And then the last one is cortisol. Now, cortisol is actually a hormone that's produced by the adrenal gland that responds to stress. If you're going through a high stress time, like I've got 2 weddings coming up, one of them is in 3 weeks, my son getting married here, and the other one is in 6 weeks, and it's my daughter, right? So I'm going to be taking cortisol the entire time because I know I'm at a high stress level and I just need the extra support. So when you want to support a healthy level of cortisol in your body, you're going to reach for cortisol. Cortisol is good for your fight or flight response, but when it's produced too often, it can be harmful. You can experience fatigue or have a hard time maintaining a healthy weight and have cardiovascular trouble. This supplement is going to help to support your body's natural balance. It's designed to aid female glandular systems. It's not hormone replacement therapy, which is the supplement that moves in supports. It helps you wake up feeling more rested and less on edge. It helps you hit a desired weight or feel emotionally balanced. And it contains the essential oils fennel, which is good for feelings of well-being during your cycle, peppermint, which is very soothing, clary sage, which is the hormone oil, Canadian fleabane, which is good for cardiovascular and hormone support. It's a really rare oil, which we now offer in the virtual office or at youngliving.com, and frankincense. You know, frankincense is an overall emotional balancer. So you can take 2 capsules in the morning and 2 capsules at night, and you can use cortisol for 8 weeks, then discontinue for 2 to 4 weeks before resuming. So do not take glandular supplements nonstop. All right, female hormone support oil. So we talked about all of the supplements you could take, and we talked about Progestins Plus. Now I'm going to give you specific oils, and I'll just give you 4 of them because I don't want to overload you guys. So clary sage is AKA Lady Libido. All right, this oil is amazing and it helps with most women's problems. So clary sage is great for emotions and mood swings. It helps with occasional anxiety. It improves cognitive function. This is helpful with monthly cramping, so you can take a bath in it with Epsom salt, and it's also good for sore muscles. Dragon Thyme supports feelings of stability and calmness. It helps with moodiness during PMS. Can I get an amen, guys? It contains the oils fennel, clary sage, marjoram, lavender, blue yarrow, and jasmine. And it's good for both young and mature women. You can apply this oil to the abdomen and lower back, and it can also help to get you in the mood. Lady Sclerol. So this oil enhances the feminine nature and it relaxes you. So it contains jasmine, bergamot, geranium, orange, and more. It can be alluring and seductive as a perfume, and it helps to get you in the mood, which is just kind of fun. So no clary sage. Are you just having emotions, problems, mood swings, can't think clearly? That's the oil you should start with. Dragon Thyme. If you're just not stable, you're not calm, you have a lot of PMS, you're biting people's heads off, start with that oil. Lady Sclerol, if you're just not in the mood for sex, start with that oil, right? Helps to get you in the mood. If you're just uptight all the time, start with Lady Sclerol. And then Mister is the 4th oil. You're like, wait a second, Sarah, that one's for guys. So this is actually good for girls. If you're having trouble with low sex drive, especially around the 15th of the month, add 1 to 3 drops of Mister oil around your ankles. Sometimes you can just smell it. So Mister is going to boost male testosterone, but sometimes women need testosterone also. Our level of that can be very low. So other tips from Young Living founder Gary Young. Even though you thought that it was male oil only, Mister can help women with hot flashes. So if you're having problems with hot flashes, that's the oil you want. So you're going to use it in the bath, on your VitaFlex points, rubbed on the lower back, the lower abdomen. It's a really good companion with Dragon Thyme. He recommends that you use fennel and sage in equal proportions internally in a veggie capsule, and find an endocrinologist to measure your estrogen levels for 30 days through blood testing. So if you go in and your estrogen levels are way off, that's his protocol. Dragon Thyme with fennel and sage in a veggie capsule for 30 days, and then go check your estrogen levels again. All right, we're going to shift gears, and now we're going to talk about men for just a moment. And so the 4 men supplements are Powergize, Prostate Health, PD8020, and Thyromin. Are you guys doing okay? Everybody hanging in there? We're like in the last 5 minutes of the class. So last page and a half of the class. And I know I've thrown a lot at you. We're going to be making up graphics called Good, Better, Best that will give you ideas on what to order at 190 PV, 250 PV, and 300 PV. So we're working on developing those graphics right now. Unfortunately, I can't do them with the PowerPoints, but as soon as we get our PowerPoints released, we're going to have a whole package that we put together for you guys with all of Good, Better, Best graphics in it too, that are just going to give you some starting places on how to apply the stuff from this class. So the top 4 supplements for men. Powergize is a supplement made for men, and it's infused with blue spruce, goldenrod, and cassia. These are essential oils used to increase your body's ability to absorb up to 80% of the supplements that you're taking. So that's much greater than the 30% that the body absorbs from store-bought supplements. It also has Uricoma longifolia, which supports healthy testosterone levels. Powergize is formulated with plants around the world that are known to help increase muscle mass and strength with your physical body. It also helps with muscle recovery. So Powergize increases the ability to concentrate and to think clearly and to stay alert. It helps your body cope with stress and feel more balanced and relax more efficiently. And it contains antioxidants and immune supporting ingredients. Prostate Health is the next one. So this supplement supports normal prostate function. Every man needs to support his prostate. This is for the whole male glandular system. So it features saw palmetto and pumpkin seed oils, and it also contains geranium, fennel, myrtle, lavender, and peppermint. So those oils support a healthy urinary tract, and you're going to take 2 capsules daily. PD8020. So this supplement offers 2 hormones that you need, pregnenolone and DHEA. So those are going to produce testosterone, progesterone, cortisol, and estrogen. So the supplement doesn't do the producing, your body does the producing, but the supplement comes alongside and just kind of tickles those glands and says, all right, hey, hello, you need to be doing this, right? So as you age, you're going to make less and less of these hormones, which in turn means that you produce less of the other hormones as their precursors. So it's really important to replace them because these two hormones help you make all the other hormones. So if you're doing Progestins Plus and you're not seeing a huge change, I would add PD 80/20 to it because it's a good, hey guys, it's time to get going supplement. It's really important that you replace them because they regulate everything else. So this supplement is great for the adrenal glands on top of each kidney. It's going to help to regulate blood sugar and blood pressure. They help your body burn fat and use protein. They release cortisol, which is your stress hormone. Supporting these glands means that you're supporting your overall cardiovascular health, your metabolism, your weight, and your body's ability to manage stress, which is directly linked to your body's ability to fight bacteria and other functions. And it helps with libido. And then the last male supplement is Thyromin, which also is really good for girls too. So this is the supplement that regulates your body's metabolism. So what I want you guys to do is when we're done with this class, go back to your script book and next to each supplement, just write down what it's good for. So just take a little space in that little white space next to the supplement and write down, overall hormone balancer, or this is the one that does PMS, or this is the one that helps me sleep at night, or this is the one for libido. Write down what it does. Pick the thing that irritates you the most, and that's the supplement you start with. I'm not telling you to start with 10 supplements. Pick one thing where you see a cluster of symptoms that you are having and start with that one thing. Usually using Progestins Plus, that one that looks like an oil, is a really good starting place for most women. For most men, Powergize is a really good starting place for them. So Thyromin regulates your body's metabolism if you're having a hard time losing weight, energy, and body temperature. It controls calorie burning and your heart rate. If this is working well, it's going to help you maintain the weight that you want to be at. So for a man, it's going to help with balding, hair loss, lower sex drive, decreased testosterone levels, not feeling like your manly self, loss of muscle mass and strength. And it also helps with chills. It helps with feeling anxious or being sweaty or being on edge. It contains iodine, porcine glandular extracts, L-cysteine and L-cysteine, and 4 essential oils: spearmint, peppermint, myrtle, and myrrh. So there's also some oils for men that are good support oils. So goldenrod is good for the bedroom. I'm sure you guys have heard this before. It's good for circulation. As weird as this sounds, you're going to actually put it right on the testes, on the lower abdomen, or the inner thighs. Ylang-ylang helps to balance male and female emotions. So yes, even men have a sensitive side. Ylang-ylang helps with anger, possessiveness, low self-esteem, and it nourishes emotions and confidence and awareness and helps you feel happy. So put this oil on your inner thighs or over your heart. Now, girls, you may have a hard time getting your guys to use these oils. Just put them in the diffuser. When you go to bed at night, put it in the diffuser. I mean, he and I have any say over what you got in the diffuser at night, right? Shutran, maybe you didn't think about diffusing this one. This actually balances hormones in a different way than ylang-ylang. So pheromones are behavior altering agents. They act outside the body of an individual that's secreting them. This is actually one of my favorite smells in Young Living is Shutran. When John puts Shutran on, oh my gosh, I'm like a tiger and I want to go devour him. And he knows it too, the little punk. He uses all the Shutran men's products and he puts extra on. He uses Shutran as an aftershave because he knows that I was like, when he wears that stuff. So Shutran will act outside the body of an individual that's secreting hormones, and it actually impacts the behavior of another individual. Shutran is made for a man to attract a woman. So put it on your forearms, put it on your inner thighs. This oil balances male energies and emotions, and it helps with relaxation, mental clarity, libido, and it calms you down. So add a drop to your wrists or ankles, or to the front and back of your pubic bones. Then Dorado Azul. So Dorado Azul complements all the other oils and the supplements to help them work better. You're going to apply a drop or two to your throat or over the thyroid and your mid-back daily or diffuse it. So now we're going to shift gears. And we're going to take a look at some of Young Living founder D. Gary Young's notes from when he was alive on the endocrine system. So we'll talk about that. I'll give you some problem areas like PMS, cramping, irregular periods, migraines. I'll give you some tips, Gary's tips. This is really old reference material stuff. I'll give you some of his tips on these things, and then we'll do a little apply it section, wrap up with the DIY, and I'll have you guys out of here in about 10 minutes. All right. I hope you're enjoying this class. It's super, super fun. When I'm done with this last page, I'll go take your questions and we'll do another giveaway. All right. So Gary says, as women get older, between 35 and 45, they become increasingly susceptible to estrogen dominance because of increased frequency of ovulation and lowered production risk of progesterone. And it can lead to osteoporosis, mood swings, depression, and an increased risk of breast, endometrial, cervical, and uterine cancers. They also suffer from an estrogen deficiency, which can significantly raise the risk of heart disease. That's why women's risk of heart disease reaches the level of men after age 40. Creams increase natural progesterone and pregnenolone because they're readily absorbed through the skin and the tissue. So our two creams are regnenolone and prenolone. So if you guys are having pain in your uterus, pain in your ovaries, start rubbing some of these creams on. So the Young Living website says it contains MSM, pregnenolone from wild yams, we've already discussed that, and wolfberry, ningxia berry extract, trace minerals, aloe, and 20 herbs and essential oils. Gary also liked to use this alongside prenolone for nerve support. So what is prenolone? So this one that I just read off contains MSM, pregnenolone, wild yams, wolfberry, trace minerals, aloe, and 20 herbs and essential oils. Prenolone Plus, this one is a cream for either men or women, and it helps to naturally balance hormones that are high. This can be used in conjunction with regnenolone. So Gary recommends you try the creams the first 5 days of your period when you're bleeding, and then stop from days 5 to 14. It's optional days 14 to 18. You start with just an 1/8 to 1/4 teaspoon from days 18 to 23, and increase to 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon between days 23 and the start of your next cycle. So I like to rub these all over my abdomen. You can also put them on that carotid artery, or you could put them on your right ankle bone and the inside of your ankle, all three of those. So basically, just before your period, the start of your cycle, and during your entire period is when you use these two creams. So just put them on your nightstand, put Progestins Plus on your nightstand. You do Progestins Plus all month, but these two you do just during your cycle, and see if it gives you a huge leg up. So now we're going to talk through some common hormone-related trouble areas. PMS. This is the part of the script you guys have been waiting for, right? Like, how do I rein this in? Premenstrual syndrome, more commonly known as PMS, is one of the most common hormone-related conditions in otherwise healthy women. So they can experience a wide range of symptoms from 10 to 14 days before menstruation, and even 2 to 3 days into menstruation. These symptoms include mood swings, fatigue, headaches, breast tenderness, bloating, anxiety, depression, confusion, memory loss, sugar cravings, irritability, cramps, low back pain, weight gain, acne, oily skin, and hair. And the causes are hormonal, nutritional, psychological, and stress related. So a topical blend, this is Gary's protocol, is clary sage, fennel, basil, bergamot, German chamomile, Roman chamomile, pine, and orange. So if you can't remember all those oils, because I just read them off real fast, then just go to your script book and open up the script and you'll see it toward the end. So Gary's hormone support recipe is 10 drops of basil, 10 drops of marjoram, 8 drops of hyssop, 4 drops of helichrysum, 6 drops of ylang-ylang, and you're going to apply it to the crown and the forehead at the same time. And you can apply it on the groin or across the lower back at the same time. And then you're going to add 1 drop of Endoflex on the tongue and the roof of the mouth. So what if you have cramping? These are Gary's recipes. Now, what about cramping? So 10 drops of dragon thyme, 4 drops of basil, and you're going to rub it around the ankles, the lower back, and the stomach. You also can take a capsule of Tarragon Vitality hourly, and it's going to help so much with the cramping. What about irregular periods? For that, 10 drops of Roman chamomile, 10 drops of fennel, and you're going to apply it to the abdomen, and apply a few drops of clary sage around the ankles. Over your ovary Vitaflex points, you're going to make a figure 8 with the oils under the right ankle bone. And then what about migraines that accompany your periods? So a colon and a liver cleanse will really reduce the symptoms of migraines. Young Living's cleansing trio is superior when it comes to cleansing. So go do one of those for a week. So let's recap all the hormone things. This is everything that I gave you guys tonight. And remember, this is a puzzle, so it's going to take some time to solve. Try something, see how you respond, and then just adjust accordingly. So here's Young Living's hormone support suggestions for women. For your pituitary gland, omega guys, sacred frankincense. Thyroid gland, thyromin, myrtle oil. Adrenal glands, omega guys, super B, mineral essence, and nutmeg and clove. And the whole body, you got progestins plus, Femigen, sclerosens, or Endoflex. For men, the top supplements are Powergize, or for healthy testosterone, you got Powergize, Shutran, and Sacred Sandalwood. For the prostate, you got Prostate Health. Thyroid, you got Thyromin, and PD8020 offers the two hormones you need, pregnenolone and DHEA, which helps you produce testosterone. And support for the thyroid is Thyromin. So if you want to learn more, here's some books that you can read. So Hormones in You by Diamond Shannon Hudson, which is a DVD set. Taming the Dragon Inn by David and Leanne Deardiff. Supplements Desk Reference, the first edition by Jen O'Sullivan. The Whole Soy Story, really, really good book on how soy in your food impacts your hormones. That's by Dr. Kayla Daniels. And one of my favorite authors, There's an Oil for That, A Girlfriend's Guide to Using Essential Oils Between the Sheets by Lucy Libido. The last thing I tell you is to research you, right? So go through these supplements, write down the symptoms, find your cluster of symptoms, and start with just one thing. I don't want you to overload. Matter of fact, by rereading this, I'm going to go get pregnenolone and regenolone and put them by my bedside and use them during my cycles and start putting progestins plus on my neck every single day. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, duh, I had a really heavy cycle this time around. Like, this is something that can help. I'm in that 35 to 45 age range, and this is something that can really help me. So guys, hormones are a really tough topic. I mean, you just survived one of the hardest classes. So now to find your answers, you got to play. This information is not going to help you if you read it and you don't apply it. So it might seem like there's a lot of solutions and you don't even know what the right one is, and that's okay. That's already a step further than where you were an hour ago, because now you've got options. You know what to do, right? I gave you that whole little adrenal protocol with reflexology. You've got some supplements to try. You've got some oils to try. Don't be afraid to listen to your body and act on how you feel. You know more about yourself than you give yourself credit for. So listen to cues and back off on a supplement if it feels wrong. If you don't see any change, increase it a little bit. It's okay to question what you're told by others and to do your own research. You are responsible for your own body. So if your gut intuition says, no, switch it up, just be encouraged and start researching yourself. Do it based on symptom. Taking care of you is one of the best investments that you will ever make. So with that said, we always end these classes with a little DIY. Here's a pampering DIY just to love on you guys a little bit. Then I'm going to give you some action steps and we're going to do some giveaways. Here we go. Bam, there it is. So here's the apply it section. I mean, this is a fun apply it section because figuring out your hormones truly is trial and error. So I'm going to give you a word of caution. If you try all these things and you don't see any improvement, then try the gut. Go back to gut health, because so many of our hormones are made there. So you can go back to the gut health class in this book and try implementing that class first. Without good gut function, there are no good hormones. So with that said, let's try some protocols. So at 190 PV, some subscribe to save ideas. I tend to start light and chart my differences. So begin with Progestins Plus, put that on your neck, put it under your ankle bone, do it 2 to 3 times a day for a month. Begin with Mineral Essence and Ningxia supplements. If you have cramps, take Tarragon Vitality in capsules every time they bother you. At 250 PV, after a month of Progestins Plus, if you see no change, I would start PD 80-20. I wouldn't just jump into Thyromin right at the beginning. Instead, add more things to feed your body, like multi-greens, master formula. Did you know that many hormone issues are caused by mineral and vitamin deficiencies? So rule out deficiencies before starting a regular supplements regimen for your thyroid. Then at 300 PV, I would add in Thyromin. And if you see no change in 60 days from daily use of Progestins Plus and PD 80-20, then Then start playing with some of the hormone oils and put it on your abdomen and under your right ankle bone. So Dragon Time, Lady Scleral, Sklar Essence. You can try taking the Vitality version of Sklar Essence in capsules. You may also find some comfort in the Feelings collection, especially when figuring out your hormones is getting overwhelming and you're feeling really defeated. So action steps, be really proactive about cutting soy from your diet. Gluten can be a major instigator because so many of us have gluten intolerances. So if you're trying to solve the mystery of your hormones, engage in some food journals and go ninja on your diet. Would it be better to find that your body can't handle soy rather than to have an organ removed or to go on a lifelong supplement? So pick a food, cut it 100% for 30 days, chart any differences that you have during your cycles. I would start with soy, then gluten, then cut all sugar, and then dairy. And then next is to cut out all processed food and drinks. So if you guys liked this class, this came right out of the Game Plan Oil script book, which is on sale on my website right now. This is the hormones class 116. This is the teacher's edition that I was teaching out of. You can get that discounted right now. On Thursday, we're going to go through the mini and the workbook. So if you really want to learn how to apply this class, you're like, oh my gosh, that was so many protocols, I don't know where to start. Then you need to be here for the workbook because it really breaks it down for you. And I recommend just getting the Oiler edition, sit down and just read through it. Just read through the class because it'll just be a huge blessing to you. This book is up on Amazon and it's up on my website, discounted in bulk for your teams. And that wraps up the hormone and oils class, which means next week, next Tuesday, you know, you guys are going to be training on. Super, super excited about this. Let me get out of this and stop my screen share so I can look right at you guys. That means that next Tuesday we are, whoops, hold up here. Next Tuesday, we're going to be training on animal aromatherapy. So we're going to talk all things animals next week. And you guys know that we love on our animals more than we love on ourselves, right? We're always, always, always putting more time and effort into taking care of our pets than to protecting our own bodies, right? So Janet says, I need more oilers. I've got more workbooks than oilers. What oil is good for sensitivity? There's a lot of them that are really good for sensitivity. It depends what the cause of the sensitivity is. Try cutting gluten for 30 days. Try doing CBD. That's going to make you less sensitive. Michelle says, I'm really excited about the protocols. Will the slides have the text to say on what's each slide? I can't do that because it violates my copyright with Amazon. So we got permission with the first 5 scripts because they were already released before my book was released. But for 106 to 125, Amazon gets really mad at me if I do that. Now, if you guys have purchased the book and you have the slides at your discretion, I'm okay if you type it out and you use it for your own personal use. Just please don't post it anywhere because if Amazon gets a hold of that, then I get in big trouble. All right. So I got Mr. from my hubby. Yes, CBD, it's really good. The feelings protocol is really good for sensitivities. Also doing emotional release protocol is really good for that as well. So, oh my gosh, Sarah, this is an amazing section on hormones. Thank you, friend. I'm glad that you enjoyed this. So let me pick 3 winners. I'm going to give away a couple of minis. I already did script books at the beginning of the class. So Alice Ritzema Brown, you just won 10 script book minis. Arlene Sellis, you just won 10 script book minis. And Alicia Fulks, Fulks, you just won 10 script book minis. So you 3 go ahead and email my team at oilabilitywithsarah@gmail.com and they'll get that out to you. Probably take 8 to 12 weeks, all right, to get it out to you. Donna says this is a really useful class, Sarah. Thank you. We'll make sure that we have the PowerPoint up for you by Thursday night so that you've got access. You can take the teacher's edition, turn it on and read it. We did that in less than an hour, guys. Less than an hour. So one thing we're going to be adding to these PowerPoints is 3 slides that say good, better, best. And it's going to give you a slide at 190 that says, these are the things you should order at 190. And I'll have a little bundle together for you so that you can go to MyYL, take that bundle, populate it, and text it to the person sitting in your class. Make sure you have it populated in MyYL before you even start the class. You just send them a little text and they can sign up right on their cell phone, right in your class while you're teaching the class. So we're going to have little bundles already put together for you guys based on these classes. So right now it takes all my week to build these PowerPoints for you. So I'm doing the best that I can with the PowerPoints, but with homeschooling and 2 weddings on the docket, realistically, I'm probably not going to get all those good, better, best slides done until we're most of the way through boot camp. But between boot camp, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and spending 5 days a week building the PowerPoints and all the stuff for you guys and the resources and our website and all that, that's taking all of my time. But as soon as we get through these last 9 classes, I'm going to put all of my attention into getting these good, better, best slides for you. We'll add them into the PowerPoints, and we're going to make printables for you so you can actually hand them out in class, and it's going to have your referral link at the bottom. It'll tell them to go to youngliving.com, add these items to their cart. Here's the item numbers for good, better, best at 190, 250, 300 PV. And then all you guys have to do is say, hey, these are the freebies this month. So if you place a 300 PV order, you're going to get $212 in free things. You're basically only spending 80 bucks. So at 300 PV, our best option, these are the hormone supplies that I would recommend you start on. So those little sheets will give them the good, better, best bundles. It'll have a line for you to write your referral link in on it. And then it's going to tell them how to do that protocol once their box shows up. Okay. So we're working on all of that. The only thing you're going to have to do is every month, throw a slide in the PowerPoint that is the freebies for that month. So you'll go to youngliving.com, you'll grab the, the slide that shows everything at 190, 250, 300, because it's going to change every 30 days. So I can't keep updating that for you in the PowerPoints on 25 PowerPoints, but we'll leave a blank slide that says these are the freebies for the month, and you just got to pop it in there. Okay. So that's what I'm doing for my team. I teach the class. As soon as the class is over, I'm handing out the mini, and I'm incentivizing them to cross off the class they just came to and come to another class. And if they come to 2 classes, they get a free gift from me. If they come to 5 classes, they get a better free gift from me. If they come to 10 classes or all 25 classes, they get a better gift from me. And so we're using the mini to draw them into the classes. And then I give them those good, better, best sheets, and I have them sign up using those little bundles from the classes. Okay. So where do we find the slides? Let me show you guys real quick. I'm going to do a quick screen share. And if I go to oilabilityteam.com, so say I'm on my website, oilabilityteam.com, you're going to go to share, and you're going to go to the script book button. So if you click on script book and you scroll to the bottom, you're going to see all 25 classes. So far, we've done 16 of the classes. So we just did the 16th class tonight, so you won't see that one up there yet. But say you go to the 15th class and you click on it, and you scroll down, you'll see the full PowerPoint that you can download. You'll see coloring pages, so you can print those out and use them in your classes. You'll see graphics, you can market your classes. We're going to be adding demos of teaching for every single one of these classes. We're going to add the good, better, best slides for you. We're going to give you marketing images. We're going to give you Instagram stories. And we're going to give you just textable classes, like tons of resources that I'm going to go back and keep adding to these pages. So as we have them fully populated, I'll be putting posts up saying, hey guys, everything just went live on the 115 class. But you're able to get those PowerPoints every month. So you just click on the PowerPoint. It'll take you to the full download. You hit download now, and bam. Now I just click on it. It just downloaded it to my computer, and there's the whole PowerPoint, and it's free for you. It doesn't cost anything at all. These are just free resources for you guys. So just oilabilityteam.com, and then you go to the share button, and you go underneath the class that you need. So you have to scroll to the bottom of the class. All right. Everybody doing good tonight? Congratulations to our winners. Susan says, that's a lot. Thank you. These are freebies. I figured out the code for your next book. You already did, Elaine, huh? Yeah. So when we get through these 25 classes, I am going to be releasing a code for my next book. So I actually have another script book that I'm going to be publishing. I hope this has just been a blessing to you guys. The next one will not be this big. I'm probably only going to put maybe 12 classes in it. But one of the classes is a Candida class, which I'm pretty excited about. So when we get through all 25 of these, watch for that Candida class, because it's going to be a huge blessing to those of you guys with cystic acne and Candida overgrowth and sugar cravings and all that kind of stuff. All right. So yeah, all that those media packages are free. That's my thank you to you guys for getting on, doing boot camp, watching these videos, sharing these videos with your team. Do you know how blessed your team would be to learn about hormones? We just did that in 60 minutes, right? And now all you guys get to do is just grab the script, grab the PowerPoint, go teach it to your own team. It's a blessing to me if you turn around and tell them that you got it out of the script book. Tell them to go grab the script book off Amazon. They can read the other 25 classes. That's the way you say thank you to John and I if you like this book. You can also hop on Amazon and leave me reviews. And I appreciate that so much. I read every single review that's up there. It's your little love note to me for the work that John and I have put in on these classes for you guys. Joy says, I tell everyone. And it just really means a lot to me when you guys share the script book and get the word out there that this book exists. So I love you guys. We got Wednesday off. Thursday, we'll get together and we'll go over the mini and we'll go over the workbook. And then next Tuesday, it's all hands on deck for the animal class. And we're in the end of the script book. Like, we're getting close to it. We got 9 classes left and we have completely wrapped up. I'm going to teach through the fall, except for 1 week, and that's the week my daughter gets married. So that week I will not be on. I'm going to take that week off, but the rest of the fall, we will just keep trudging through all of these classes. So God bless you guys. I'm so grateful for your faithfulness and for hopping on here every Tuesday and hanging out for me. The Ensign PowerPoint doesn't allow us to download it. I'll take a look at that, Denise. Yeah, if you guys have any issues with the PowerPoint, just email me at oilabilitywithsarah@gmail.com, and we have an amazing team. If you missed this video, it's recorded, so you can just hop on and watch it again. It's a Facebook Live, all right? Hard to believe we're so close to the end. I know the script book has been so much fun. And the nice thing is, if you guys haven't seen all the classes, you know you're not late ever. Like, you can hop on anytime and just watch the animal class, or just watch the hormones class, or just watch the tooth class. Like, you're not behind on anything. So I pray that this is just a huge blessing to you. You have been a blessing to me. I'm grateful to you guys every single day. I love you. And I will see you guys in 2 days when we go through all the apply it section of how to really make this class come to life. So you're not going to want to miss Thursday, 8:30 Eastern. And the next Tuesday, tell your teams to save the date. Next Tuesday, we're going to do animal aromatherapy. Last thing I want to tell you is, as soon as I end this video, I'm going to launch the tickets for our Friday night live event in Greenville, South Carolina. So our Sunday sold out in 48 hours. And I've had hundreds of you guys writing me asking for tickets because it sold out so fast. So I'm going to pop the ticket link up. We're going to make it live in like 90 seconds. I'm going to pop that ticket link up. And those of you guys that were not able to get in on Sunday, go ahead and hop on and grab your tickets for Friday night. It's the same event. It's the exact same event. You're not missing anything. We're just doing it Friday and Sunday. So corporate is actually going to stay here for 3 days so that they can do this event for you guys twice. So if you live in Tennessee, you live in Georgia, you live in North Carolina, South Carolina, if you live within 5 hours, get to this event in Greenville, South Carolina, because it's going to be amazing. It will be fire for your teams. Fill your vehicles and come on out. Our last one sold out really fast. So if you're interested in tickets, I'm not opening a third night. Like, this is it. This is the last call for this event. All right. But I'll pop that ticket link up in just a second. So I'll see you guys on Thursday. And thank you for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed the Essential Oils 116 Hormones and Oils class. See you guys again soon. Bye.